Cat meets venomous snake. What happens next will shock you. When a curious cat encounters a venomous snake in the wild, the situation quickly becomes tense and unpredictable. With danger lurking in every moment, the cat's reaction is nothing short of extraordinary. What happens next defies all expectations and leaves onlookers in complete shock. This surprising and dramatic encounter will leave you wondering how such a dangerous meeting unfolded. In a quaint town nestled between forests and fields, there lived a cat named Sky, a true enigma to everyone who knew him. Sky was unlike any other cat, not just because of his peculiar behavior, but also because of his distinctive appearance, which instantly caught the eye. His thick gray fur was adorned with white spots of varying shapes and sizes, making him truly unique. The most striking feature of Sky's appearance was his eyes, one emerald green and the other a vivid blue. This unique trait gave his gaze a mesmerizing quality, leading people to wonder if ancient wisdom lay behind those unusual eyes. Sky lived in an old wooden house owned by the Robinson family. The house stood on the outskirts of town, on the very edge where civilization met the wild. The expansive garden surrounding it was a paradise filled with blooming fruit trees and berry bushes, offering a safe haven for small animals and birds. Beyond the garden, a dense, shadowy forest began, its mysterious allure both intimidating and fascinating. The Robinson family adored Sky, admiring his unique character and abilities. Unlike ordinary cats, Sky made sounds similar to a quiet, melodic whistle. When he was especially pleased, a low rumble, reminiscent of distant thunder, would come from his throat. The most surprising thing about Sky was his behavior, which was more like a dog's than a cat's, and for this, he received his unusual name. He easily followed commands usually given to dogs. When called by name, Sky always came running, energetically wagging his tail. He even learned to open doors, skillfully pressing the handle with his paw. Every morning, Sky escorted the Robinson children to the gate when they went to school. He walked beside them, carefully watching the surroundings like a bodyguard. Each evening, Sky took his guard post on the fence with a regal air, surprising the neighbors who watched a cat behave like a loyal dog. The Robinsons' garden was home to many small animals, but Sky, driven by instinct, skillfully kept them at bay. Unlike most cats, he never killed for sport. After catching a mouse or mole, he would carry it gently to the house, then release it near the forest as if proving he could protect the garden without harm. One hot summer day, while walking in tall grass, Sky heard a faint hiss. Curious, he parted the grass with his paw and froze. Before him lay a tiny snake, its scales shimmering in the sunlight with an intricate pattern. The little snake's eyes looked at the large cat with fear. Sky could have easily killed the snake, but instead, he did something amazing. With extraordinary care, he took the snake in his teeth, trying not to harm it. Then he carried it to the thick raspberry bushes at the edge of the garden. There, among the branches and leaves, Sky made a cozy nest for the snake out of dry leaves and moss. From that day on, an unlikely friendship formed between Sky and the snake. Each day, Sky brought food, bugs, tadpoles, and small fish, and even warmed the snake on cool nights. Over time, the snake grew accustomed to its unusual guardian, no longer afraid, and even emerged when it heard Sky approach. Months passed, and the snake grew rapidly, eventually revealing itself as a large cobra, something no one in the area had seen before. No one could explain how it arrived, but some speculated it had escaped from an exotic animal collection. Regardless, the cobra is now called the Sky family and lies in the garden. Despite her impressive size and potential danger, the cobra was gentle with her cat guardian. She followed him around the garden, gracefully gliding between the plants and wrapping around his paws when he stopped. When Sky rested in the shade of the trees, the cobra settled nearby, often placing her triangular head on his back, as if seeking protection and comfort. Sky, showing remarkable wisdom, taught the cobra to stay away from the house and people. It was as if he explained to her that people might get scared and harm her. The cobra seemed to understand this and started living in the thick raspberry and blackberry bushes at the far end of the garden. These thickets became her home and fortress, from where she emerged only at night for hunting. At night, the cobra turned into a tireless hunter. She caught mice, rats, and other rodents that could harm the garden. Her presence created a kind of natural balance. the number of pests in the Robinsons' garden significantly decreased, which pleased the owners. The Robinson family never suspected the unusual bond between Skye and the cobra. They simply admired Skye for keeping the garden free of rodents, unaware that the cat had a powerful ally. As Skye grew older, his movements slowed and his hunting skills diminished. However, the cobra, sensing his decline, stayed close, providing him with small animals from her night hunts. The Robinsons sometimes found dead rodents at the doorstep, puzzled at how their aging cat still managed to hunt. Then, one day, the peaceful life of Skye and his snake friend was disrupted when a new family moved into the neighboring house. They had a huge vicious dog named Kenneth. The dog was known for his aggressive nature. He loved to fight with other dogs and often bullied the neighbors' cats, who scattered in fear at his appearance. On one particularly hot summer day, Kenneth, taking advantage of the fact that his owners forgot to close the gate, sneaked into the Robinsons' garden. Attracted by the scent of an unfamiliar cat, Kenneth approached the garden, intent on exploring the new territory. Skye, dozing peacefully on an old bench, was unaware of the approaching danger. As the heavy footsteps grew closer, the old cat tried to flee, but his slow movements couldn't escape Kenneth. The dog quickly pinned Skye to the ground, ready to strike when suddenly a loud, threatening hiss pierced the air. Emerging from the raspberry bushes, a massive cobra appeared, her scales gleaming in the sunlight and her hood spread wide. Kenneth froze, stunned by the cobra's sudden appearance, torn between his hunting instinct and the urge to retreat. Never before had he encountered such a creature. The cobra, wasting no time, hissed again and swiftly moved forward, shielding Skye. Her movements were smooth and graceful, yet filled with deadly danger. Kenneth, quickly recovering from his initial shock, decided he could handle this strange enemy. He released Skye and, with a loud bark, lunged at the cobra. Kenneth lunged at the cobra, but she swiftly dodged and struck, sinking her fangs into his nose. Kenneth yelped, recoiling as blood dripped from the wound. Confused by the snake's speed, he hesitated while the cobra, still guarding Skye, retreated, ready to strike again if necessary. Kenneth's owner rushed over, horrified by the sight of the snake, and froze, yelling in fear as he backed away. The cobra, sensing the danger of human presence, slithered back into the bushes. Before disappearing, she glanced at Skye to ensure he was safe. Trembling, Skye slowly rose and limped toward the house. Skye glanced toward the bushes where his protector had disappeared, mewing softly as if to thank her. Kenneth's owner, still in shock, called his dog, who whimpered and hurried back to him, his tail between his legs and blood dripping from his nose. The man quickly grabbed Kenneth's collar and led him out of the garden, constantly looking over his shoulder, fearing the snake might return. Once outside, he rushed to his car, heading straight for the vet. News of the large snake spread quickly, though many doubted the story. The Robinsons, hearing the rumors, began paying closer attention to their garden and noticed Skye spending more time near the thick bushes, occasionally hearing a strange hissing sound. After the incident, local animals' behavior around the garden noticeably changed. Neighboring cats and dogs began to avoid the Robinsons' garden. Even stray animals, which used to often visit the garden in search of food, now stayed away. Kenneth, once his wound healed, never approached the Robinsons' fence again. Whenever he saw Skye sitting on the fence, he would start whining and hide behind his owner's back. Skye and his snake companion continued their peaceful life, with the cobra growing more cautious and only appearing at night. She kept the garden in perfect order, hunting rodents as usual. As the years passed, Skye grew older, his movements slower, his fur grayer, and his vision weaker. The cobra remained a loyal friend and protector to Skye, visiting his bedroom window every night as if ensuring his safety. When Skye passed away, the Robinson family buried him in the garden beneath an old tree. After his death, the cobra was never seen or heard from again, vanishing as if she had fulfilled her sacred duty to her friend. The remarkable story of friendship between an ordinary house cat and a massive cobra soon became a local legend. It served as a reminder that true friendship can form between the most unlikely of creatures, transcending all barriers and prejudices. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.